It was a muddy afternoon in the city after a heavy rain. The roadside was messy, with puddles everywhere. An old man named Papa Thomas sat quietly on a wooden bench near the roadside. His clothes were old and his slippers were worn out, but he looked peaceful. He had just finished sweeping in front of a small shop and was resting before going home. Suddenly, a black Range Rover came speeding through the narrow road. Without slowing down, the car ran right through a large puddle. A heavy wave of muddy water flew up and soaked Papa Thomas from head to toe. The old man gasped and tried to wipe his face with his hand, but the damage was already done. His shirt, trousers, and even his slippers were now dripping with brown water. People nearby stopped and stared in shock. "Hey, look what you did!" one woman shouted at the car. The car didn't stop. It rolled forward slowly, then finally came to a halt just a few steps ahead. The tinted window rolled down. A proud female voice came from the car. "You shouldn't be sitting so close to the road, old man. This is not your village." Then the window rolled up again, and the car sped off. The crowd went silent for a moment. "Did she just say that?" one man asked, his mouth open. "Wicked woman," another woman shouted. "Can't she even say sorry?" "This is too much," someone added. "Papa Thomas is always quiet and kind. Why treat him like this?" But the old man raised one hand and spoke softly. "It's okay. Leave her. Let God judge." Meanwhile, the woman in the black Range Rover, Vanessa, arrived at a luxury shopping mall. As she walked into the building, her phone buzzed. She took a selfie and posted it online with the caption, "Only the strong walk over the weak. Boss Queen." Within minutes, the comments rolled in. "Slay. Queen of Queens. Teach them." She smiled proudly. To her, what she did was nothing. She believed that poor people had no value, no voice, and no reason to be in her way. She had built her life with pride, stepping on anyone she thought was beneath her. Papa Thomas arrived home that evening, tired but still calm. He opened the door and walked into the large living room of their beautiful mansion. Though he dressed simply and often visited poor neighborhoods, his son, Bernard, was a wealthy man. Their house had everything: fine furniture, soft rugs, and expensive artwork on the wall, but none of it meant much to the old man. Bernard was sitting on the couch, reading something on his tablet, when he noticed his father walk in. "Papa, what happened to your shirt?" he asked. "It looks like you had another bad day." Papa Thomas sat down gently and shook his head. "Bernard, I saw the most rude woman today." Bernard sighed. "Papa, again. I don't know why you keep going out there. Why can't you stop this? You don't need to sit on the roadside or talk to random people. You live in a mansion now. You have everything you need." Papa Thomas looked at his son with calm eyes. "I will never stop, Bernard. Not until I find a good woman for you." Bernard dropped the tablet. "Papa, again with this." "Yes," Papa Thomas said firmly. "You're 36 years old already. You need a wife. You need someone who will build with you, not just enjoy what you have." Bernard rubbed his forehead and sighed. "Papa, I have a girlfriend." The old man turned quickly. "You do?" "Yes. I've been seeing someone." "Then why didn't you tell me before now?" "I didn't want to rush things," Bernard replied. "But now that you're bringing it up again, I'll tell you." Papa Thomas leaned forward. "So who is she? Where is she from? What does she do?" Bernard smiled lightly. "You will meet her soon. Don't worry, she's very beautiful." The old man raised an eyebrow. "Beauty is not everything, my son." "I know, Papa, but there's a problem." "What problem?" Bernard hesitated for a moment before speaking. "She's rude, Papa. Very rude." Papa Thomas leaned back slowly. "She talks down to people," Bernard continued. "She's proud. She thinks everyone is below her. And the worst part, she spends money anyhow. I give her money. She buys things she doesn't need. Expensive clothes, shoes, bags, all just to show off." Papa Thomas shook his head in silence. "So why are you still with her?" Bernard looked away. "I don't know. Maybe because she's beautiful. Maybe because I thought I could change her. She's smart too, and sometimes when she's calm, she's sweet. But when she gets angry or feels insulted, she becomes someone else. His father was quiet for a while. Then he asked, "Does she respect you?" "Sometimes." "Does she respect herself?" Bernard didn't answer. Papa Thomas sighed deeply. "Bernard, listen to me. I've been watching women all my life. I know how they behave, even from how they walk and talk. You need a woman who will bring peace into your home, not noise. A woman who will help you grow, not waste what you have worked for." "I know, Papa. I know you're right." "Then bring her home. Let me see her with my own eyes. I want to talk to her. I want to look into her eyes. If I see humility, I will bless the union. If I see pride, I will tell you the truth, even if it hurts." Bernard nodded slowly. "Okay, Papa, I'll talk to her. Maybe she can come over this weekend." "Good," the old man said, "but don't tell her anything special. Let her come as she is. I want to meet her real self, not the one she puts on in public." Bernard chuckled. "You want to surprise her?" "No," Papa Thomas said calmly. "I want her to surprise herself." As Bernard stood to get a glass of water, his father watched him with quiet concern. He was proud of his son. Bernard was smart, successful, and kind. But love could make even the wisest man blind. Another hot afternoon. Papa Thomas sat quietly outside a big supermarket, wearing his simple clothes, plastic bowl in front of him. Some people dropped small change. Others didn't even look at him. He didn't beg. He just sat. Then the sound came. A black Range Rover stopped sharply at the front. Vanessa stepped out, eyes hidden behind dark glasses, loud music playing in her car. She saw Papa Thomas, hissed, and walked closer. "You again?" she snapped. "You this old, dirty-smelling man. Why do you keep disgracing your generation like this?" She didn't wait for a reply. "Do you enjoy sitting here like a goat? Poor people like you have no shame." Papa Thomas didn't say a word. "Look at your clothes. Look at your face. Useless man. Maybe you were cursed." Still silent. "You're the reason Nigeria is backward. You sit here waiting for help instead of dying quietly." She spat near his feet. "You make me sick." Just then, a young woman with 2 grocery bags stepped out of the supermarket. She paused, watched, then dropped her bags. "Enough," she said. Vanessa turned. "Who are you?" "Someone who still has sense," Mary replied. Vanessa laughed. "Another poor rat trying to feel important." "You're insulting an old man for no reason," Mary said sharply. "What did he do to you?" "He exists," Vanessa barked. "That's what he did. Poor, dirty men like him shouldn't be outside." Mary stepped forward. "He's old enough to be your father." "So," Vanessa shouted, "is he my father? Look at him. Probably your father. You both look poor." Mary's eyes narrowed. "Yes, maybe he is. But at least he's not empty like you." Vanessa laughed again. "Do you know who I am? Do you know who my boyfriend is? I can get you arrested in 2 minutes." Mary didn't blink. "Arrest me for telling you to respect an old man." "I'm rich. I can do anything," Vanessa yelled. "No, you're loud, not rich in character," Mary fired back. "You're jealous of me. I'm clean. I'm classy." Mary scoffed. "You're just noisy with lipstick, nothing more." Vanessa's face changed. She stepped forward. "You dare talk to me like that?" "Yes, because nobody ever taught you how to behave. You will regret this." "Number you will," Mary said calmly. "One day, this same man you insulted will be the one you'll need to bow to." Vanessa's hands shook. Mary pointed. "Take your proud legs and leave." Vanessa stared, lips tight, face red. Then she turned, stormed into her car, slammed the door, and sped off. Mary then turned to Papa Thomas. "Sorry, sir." He looked at her gently. "Thank you, my daughter," she smiled. "I couldn't let her talk to you like that." He nodded slowly. "These days, not many people speak up like you did." Mary looked around, then walked closer. "Papa, what's your name?" "Thomas," he said simply. "People just call me Papa Thomas." She sat beside him. "I'm Mary," he smiled. "Nice name." She looked into his eyes. "Papa, where do you stay?" she asked. He hesitated, then said quietly, "I sleep in an empty store at the edge of town. The owner allows me to stay there. It's not much, but it keeps the rain away." Mary's face dropped. "Oh, Papa, I'm really sorry." He shook his head gently. "Don't be. Life has its seasons. I may be poor, but I still have my peace. You seem too wise to be out here, Papa." He gave a weak smile. "Life teaches you wisdom when you have nothing." She looked at him for a while, then said, "Papa, I studied agriculture. I'm a graduate. It's been 1 year now. No job. My parents are poor farmers in the village." He nodded slowly. "You're trying." "I was thinking," she continued, "instead of just sitting here, maybe I can help you start a small farm, even behind the store. We can plant simple things. Pepper, tomatoes, vegetables. It will give you food, and we can sell the rest." Papa Thomas looked at her, surprised. "You want to help me farm?" "Yes, Papa," she said. "I have nothing else for now, but I have strength. I can work. It's better than waiting. You'll eat fresh food, and you can stop begging for coins." He sat still, thinking deeply. "You're too kind," he said quietly. She shook her head. "No, Papa, I just believe good people deserve help too." He looked up at her. "You hardly know me." She smiled. "I know enough. You didn't say a word when that woman insulted you. That silence told me everything." Papa Thomas smiled slowly. "You're different." "I try," she said. He nodded. "I will think about it, Mary." "Think fast," she said playfully. "We can start with a small basket of okra. Even that can change something." They both laughed softly. Mary stood, picked up her bags and waved. "Okay, Papa. See you tomorrow." He nodded. "I'll be here." "Good," she said. "Don't go missing." She walked off smiling. Papa Thomas sat back, watching her go. Something stirred in his chest. Not sadness, not shame. Hope. He looked up at the sky and whispered, "Lord, could she be the one?" Papa Thomas walked into the house with a wide smile on his face. The heavy wooden door closed behind him, and he removed his sandals quietly. The mansion was peaceful and cool. He looked around and saw his son sitting quietly in the living room. He cleared his throat. "Bernard." "Yes, Papa. I met someone today." Bernard looked up. "Who?" Papa Thomas walked over and sat down. "Bernard, today I met the most beautiful and respectful, well-mannered woman I've ever seen in my life." Bernard raised his eyebrows. "Really?" "Yes. And I'm not talking about makeup or hair or fancy shoes. I'm talking about a heart, a clean heart, a woman with sense, dignity and courage." Bernard sat back. "Okay. What happened?" "I was outside the supermarket. That same proud woman came again. The one who always insults me like I'm nothing. She opened her mouth today and poured all kinds of shameful words on me." Bernard clenched his fist lightly. "Again?" "Yes. But this time," Papa Thomas said, smiling, "something different happened. A young woman saw what was happening, and before I could even say a word, she stood up for me." "She did?" "Yes, Bernard, she insulted that proud girl without fear. She didn't shout like a mad person, no. Her words were clean but strong. She spoke with fire and wisdom. That rude girl had no choice but to walk away in shame." Bernard was silent. "After that," Papa Thomas continued, "she came to sit with me. She didn't rush. She didn't act proud. She just sat down and asked if I was okay. Like I was someone who mattered." "What's her name?" Bernard asked. "Mary." "Mary?" "Yes. I told her I was just a poor man with no home. She didn't laugh. She didn't judge. Do you know what she said?" Bernard waited. "She said, 'Papa, I can help you.'" Bernard looked surprised. "She's a graduate. She studied agriculture. No job yet. Her parents are farmers too. But instead of complaining, she told me we can start a small farm together. She offered to help me find peace through hard work again." "Papa, you're not serious," Bernard said softly. I am very serious, Papa Thomas replied. You know I've always wanted to go back to farming. You told me to stop. You said I was old. But Bernard, that's where I find joy. That's where I feel alive. Bernard sighed. Papa, we've talked about this. You don't need to farm anymore. You should rest. Enjoy your old age. But rest without purpose is just waiting to die, Papa Thomas said. Farming is not just about food to me. It's about peace, patience, and strength. My body may be old, but my spirit is still strong. Bernard looked down, not speaking. Papa Thomas leaned forward. This girl, Mary, reminded me of the man I used to be. She brought light into my heart today. And more than that, she gave me hope again. Bernard rubbed his palm slowly across his chin. I'm telling you this, Bernard, Papa Thomas added, not because I need permission, but because I've seen something special. That girl is gold. She may not have money, but she has character. And that's what wealth can't buy. Bernard lifted his eyes. Papa. Yes. I didn't want to say this, but my girlfriend is coming tomorrow. Papa Thomas leaned back. And what do you want me to do with that information? Bernard paused. She wants to meet you. That's none of my business, Papa Thomas said sharply. Because today, I met a woman who made me forget that rudeness still exists. A girl who respected me without knowing who I was. Your girlfriend might be coming tomorrow, but today I already met the kind of woman this world needs. Bernard went silent. I've been watching you, Papa Thomas continued. You are rich, but you're alone. You have houses, but no joy. You have friends, but no peace. A wife should bring peace, Bernard, not noise, not pride, not trouble. I understand, Papa. No, you don't, Papa Thomas said calmly. You say you have a girlfriend, but I don't know her. I don't know where she's from, what she believes in, how she treats people. You tell me she's beautiful. That's fine. But can beauty feed the heart? Bernard looked away. Let me tell you something, the old man continued. When I was young, I wanted to marry the most beautiful girl in my village. My mother warned me. I didn't listen. That girl had the face of an angel, but the tongue of a lion. She almost killed my soul. What happened? She left me, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. That was when I met your mother. She wasn't the most beautiful, but her heart was clean. Her hands were hard-working, and her love built our family. Bernard swallowed hard. So you're saying Mary is... I'm not saying anything yet, Papa Thomas replied. All I'm saying is, don't bring me noise tomorrow and expect me to smile. Because I already saw peace today. Okay, Papa. Let your girlfriend come. Let her show me who she really is. But I will not pretend. And if I see pride, I'll tell her to her face. Bernard stood quietly and nodded. I respect that. Papa Thomas smiled. Good. I've done my part. Tomorrow we'll see. The next morning came quietly. Papa Thomas had already taken his bath and was sitting in the living room. He wore clean, simple clothes. His face was calm, but his heart was not. He was thinking about Mary. He kept hearing her voice in his head. Papa, I can help you. He smiled to himself. Then he heard footsteps. Bernard walked in and stood beside him. Papa. Yes? She's on her way. Papa Thomas looked straight ahead. Let her come. Minutes later, the sound of a car entering the compound filled the air. Papa Thomas didn't move. The door opened slowly. High heels tapped against the floor. Then Vanessa walked in with pride on her face, handbag swinging by her side. She looked around the house, impressed. This place is nice, she said. Not as modern as mine, but still okay. Then her eyes landed on the old man, sitting calmly on the couch. She froze. Her smile vanished. Papa Thomas looked up at her, but said nothing. Bernard stood between them, confused. Papa, this is... I know who she is, Papa Thomas said coldly. Vanessa swallowed hard. You? Yes, he replied, still calm. We've met before, twice. Bernard looked at her. Wait, you know my father? Vanessa's lips shook. I didn't know he was your father. Papa Thomas leaned forward. You didn't need to. You only needed to show respect. Bernard's face changed. What is he talking about? Papa Thomas turned to his son. This is the same woman who splashed mud on me by the roadside and called me names. She told me I was useless. She mocked my poverty. She did it again at the supermarket yesterday. Bernard slowly turned to Vanessa. She couldn't speak. Is this true? He asked.